We want to see a bigger map out of them, but interesting enough, I did talk to Fens just prior to the game, trying to get his head.
Going into this first game of the day against Orgless, 91% believing that the veteran talent, the long-time North American team, space one of two kinds of bans, either tackling the extension or the site hold. With Castle going down and now Mira going down.
Sense gadget, and that is going to block off the line of sight, but with the smoke just stunning things out in only 20 seconds, I don't really see a way for Orgless through here.
No, it seems like round one's going to result in a pretty quiet death for Orgless. 5v5, now only 5v4. Opening kill acquired by Newers with 14 seconds remaining, and Orgless feed themselves one by one to the myriad of angles held by Spacestation. Held, might I add, since the beginning.
Maybe even a bit of a jump out here if the time is
That could
right.
be good.
Knows that there's a couple of players out there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it. Instead, just gets a super skinny angle onto Kixro and can get him. Stall out is pretty serious as well from Orgless right now. Still not really with any sort of main control, and Ashen going to pick himself up yet another.
Oh my god.
Kills are just going to continue to flood. This is a bloodbath. I'm not even sure that
We have held powerful positions, but passive angles, and waited for Orgless to peak, waited for an opening. This round is done and dusted. It's going to be 2-0 SSG. And we were worried that maybe they wouldn't be able to break that 2-round threshold that has been a ceiling on their defenses the past 6 to 8 months. They've just hit it and basically only lost one.
Trying to do exactly the same things, and it isn't going to work. Ashen knows the angles that he's going to be vulnerable to. My biggest worry would be somebody swinging onto him. Now, Benja is going to fall first there. Fens, he's going to be in position to take him out. And that's going to be the first time that we see Orgless with an advantage going into the first half of the round.
All right, there we go. Not only an advantage, but widen further. It's taken almost half the round, but Orgless' patient game paid off. Honestly, you know what the ironic thing is, Ollie? Maybe Ashen could have afforded to move there. Maybe he could have afforded to chance it on a rotation a little bit, especially with Kanto wall fully reinforced, but he tries to stick it out a little bit too long, and it's been a flawless game for SSG so far, but 5-1 as these kills have just dropped piecemeal, one at a time.
Really do anything too differently. SSG were looking to hold in a very similar way to what they were successful in round number 2, and it was just over peaks, over swinging. Benja, not sure, a very good chance of getting it. And it's looking like it's going to be another execute with very little time remaining. Again, in that 5 versus 5.
In the 5 versus 5, you just really cannot give a single criticism to the way SSG are playing this right now. So patient, so expertly crafted. The Warden brought in round 4 after seeing the sends, seeing the smokes in round 1. Ashen will fall, but it's only Eddie to cover this diffuse plant. And Janano walks right under the hatch to do away with Orgless' chances at another attack. Likely going to be playing either that position or playing aggressive on the janitor door. So really, really good find. Really good constant information to have right there. Ooh, Ashen running around main lobby. Fultz has now walked upstairs, helped the teammate, made it a 4v4. That's the Dokeby taken down too. Looking for a run out here. As Orgless are starting to move in a bit of a tricky position. They want to go for that execute, and they are finding these kills. But whenever the attack is at that setup, whenever they're about to transition into that site take, they can be particularly vulnerable. But Orgless not leaving anything to chance. They have so much time waiting, or remaining at a minute, 10 seconds left. But oh, Kixro! He avails himself to the angle by Benja, and there's another one. Bino with the diffuser. Aiming for a solo clear of Fultz. He spotted them, but this could be so risky. A 50-50 gunfight, nobody to trade him. If he doesn't come away with this could be the round for Spacestation. Fultz isn't even giving him away aggressively. Smoke comes in on the door.
To rush the site when they had a 4 versus 2 advantage. As it stands, they're still chasing. And Fultz is just going to clean up from ATMs. He's got info on the last as well. Shouldn't really have even ever got to this point. SSG were really looking down and out there, and Fultz was going for a bit of a Hail Mary, to be honest, in that ATMs area, because it's a big 50-50 as to whether you're actually going to see anyone and even then come away with the kill. It feels as though SSG are wising up to their tricks, because at the moment they look a little bit one-dimensional. It's another round that's starting with them repelling into CEO upstairs.
Ooh, another one. Kixro will get that engagement, but there's another player up top. Ashen was here on Legion, but he's playing...
Peek out, grab a little bit of information. Once again, we're seeing this sort of late round stall out from Orgless. They've got all that vertical control, but there's nothing that they can do with it. Ashen going to take one out, and well, 3 versus 3 with 20 seconds, the kills will start to fly.
Oh, the kills will start to fly. What I was going to say, Eddie set up for that backstab. That's what we needed to see from Orgless. Something different, something to break that stalemate. Janano will find one. That's the play where opened everything for Orgless. And they're both pushing from ATMs. He can win this. They're lining up for him. He's found one. Can peek around, wait for the second. No, just waste time. There's nothing DarkZero can do. What a play from...
You can't hide it. There's no like playing cool and just like, yeah, another day at the office. He's buzzing to get it yet again. And I can only imagine that that's the team gassing him up for another 20, 30 seconds on the clock at that time. It would have been an entirely different round. They could have really manipulated and worked that 2 versus 1.
Theoretically and physically, 2 players up top, 2 on the bottom. Eddie's completely by himself. He swings around, downs Benja, but Bolt's taking up so much attention. He just manages to get back alive. The fact acting as the mirror window, Ashen can cause chaos on the blitz still. You've got full vert control. You've even got a B from J9O if you want to cover that diffuser. Allow somebody to play back. They're starting to line up for Newers. A lot of HP to get that first kill. Lined up head level for the second, but DarkZero able to land the shot quicker. Consistent disadvantage, widened further by SSG. But look at the time. Only 5 seconds remaining. Smoke's going out. Bolts has an angle on this position. Will run forth with the utilities there. It's clean. And Ashen in the middle of a maelstrom on the bottom floor. Almost a Warden in play on the defense. But Epic being real aggressive with that. Oh my god, look at this find from Benja. He's walked right in, but Epic, the foresight. That Kanto player definitely slacking a little bit, but you're glad Epic adds in that redundancy. Newer's now flying on in. Epic put to 1 HP as Janano puts this plant down. Another quick call by Spacestation. Another flurry of kills between the two teams. Eddie on for 10 after that one. And now locked down in the 2v2. Eddie deep into sight. Inside of Janitor, the main player to contest with Newers in all likelihood. Ashen peppering a couple shots from Banana as he's worked his way up, worked his way deeper. No, actually the opposite side, hip fired, and he walks right into him. The mistake of the round, as it seems match point for Spacestation, is right within their grasp. Not a lot of utility for Bino, holding the angle, holding the forcing. He is the player forcing SSG to pivot to plan B. As losing that glass, they wanted to smoke that door, have him sit in the smoke and cover. But now J9O losing his life on the back line. Again, Eddie on a tear this game, 12 and 5. And while Foltz has made it into the site, look at how separate he is from the team. But he's just whipped out the pistol, taking the kill behind him. Eddie's still massacring SSG's back line. And Newers has it all to do. Watching the back, Foltz somehow going to get this plant down. With the smoke out of position, he can't use his Toxic Babes to deny the plant. And neither Bino nor Epic in a position to hold that long angle. A must-win fight for Newers against a big pop-off player. It's instead Foltz to remove the smoke, the terror, the menace from the board. And then another 2v2. They were able to close it out last time, but with the wraparound, Newers able to put it into a 1v1. A potential layup for Foltz, but on such low HP, if Epic just spots those feet for 1 second, he might be able to get the kill. But Foltz trying to draw him away from that diffuser. Try and put as much time on the clock, not only into the rotation, but as little time remaining for Epic to even have a chance. The kill comes through as we move beyond the pale. Another 7-2 for SSG.